just pick a couple of them. So one of the problems that I discovered with one of my earlier classes, and I guess this is pretty common, and this happens in a lot of areas. It's like you're good with the technique you're learning, but you kind of forget about the technique we previously learned, right? So what's the first thing that we always do? Greatest common factor, yes. Is there a greatest common factor? X, all right, let's take an X out. And that leaves us with the X squared plus 11X plus 18. Now what? Okay, so this is where I was saying we forget about the old ways that we learned, right? So I don't actually have to do the Murray method because this is just a 1. So it's not wrong. It wouldn't come out wrong, but it's extra work, right? So all we have to worry about here, right? We put our X in both parentheses. We just have to look at the 18 and the 11. Two numbers that multiply to equal 18, but add up to 11. Okay? Multiply to equal 18, but add up to 11. So you should be writing this in your notes, right? So you make sure you have something to study. Again, you got to think about down the road, think about in May, how are you going to remember how to do these without notes, right? Okay, how about 3p squared minus 6p minus 189? 3. Okay, take a 3 out. That leaves us with p squared minus 2p minus 63. Okay. RJ, what am I going to try to find now? We already did the common factor. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to equal what? Negative 63, but add up to negative 2. Okay, so listen, it is hard to remember this, okay? Especially for those of you that did not have it in Algebra 1 or didn't master it in Algebra 1 or had virtual Algebra 1 or whatever, okay? It's hard. You have your notes need to be more than just copying down the problems. Your notes should have things in there telling you what you did, okay? Your notes should be things like, okay, I'll work up here, right? Two numbers multiplied equal 18. Add to 11, right? So when you look back at your notes, you have something to tell you what it was. Because in May, when you look back at your notes and you just see the problem and then the answer, you're not going to remember how we got from one spot to the next. You need to have your notes clear, okay? I'm going to tell you a personal story. I know you love my personal stories, okay? I'm going to pause and tell you my personal story. Okay, personal story over. All right, so you're going to write your notes in a way that you can understand what you wrote or understand where we got the numbers from, okay? All right, let's see here. Mary, what am I doing now with this 63, with negative 63? Find something to multiply to equal negative 63, but add up to negative 2. Anyone got that for me? 63 is a rough one. Yeah, what'd you get, Mark? 9 and 7, p minus 9, p plus 7. Is that what you said? Yep. Good job. Excellent. Okay. Okay, so we did a couple there where we had a 1 in the front. How about this one? This was in your worksheet. 14m squared minus 46m minus 40. Austin, what's the first thing we're going to do?
Find the greatest common factor.
Yeah, find the greatest common factor, which is what? 2. So it leaves us with 7m squared minus 23m minus 20. Any questions? Remember, you're in charge of your destiny. If you don't understand it, you should be asking me questions. Okay, Anna, what do I do now? Okay, I'm going to give you all like 30 seconds to process and think it through by yourself, and then we'll jump back in again. Okay? So do it yourself. And while you're looking at it, if you can't do it yourself, you should be thinking through, what am I not understanding? Okay, so Anna, what question do you have for me?
I just, with this stage, I like kept getting confused with like what to do next. Like I know you like break down the ends and the parentheses, but that's like later.
Right. So we broke, like up here, we broke it right down to the parentheses, but how is this one different?
Because there's a 7.
Yes, exactly. There's a 7 in front. Right. So this is where we're using the Murray method. Right? This is the Murray method because this is no longer a 1. So now I can't simply say what multiplies equal negative 20 and adds up to negative 23. I can't do that now because I've got that 7 in front there. So what we're going to do is factor the 7m squared. I'm going to factor that as 7m times 1m. This is nice because there's only one way of factoring it. Nothing else is going to multiply to equal 7. It's a prime number. Then we're going to factor the 20. So we've got 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. Okay. Notice that I'm only factoring the first number and the last number. Okay. What was it? 4 and 5? Negative 4 and... Like that? Okay. How do you know that? What did you do? What did you think through when you did it? How did you check it in your mind?
I just checked it.
What I know.
I did 4 times 7.
4 times 7 is negative 28.
Then I did
Plus 5 is negative 23. So is that going to work? Okay, you've got the right idea. The right idea. You just multiplied the wrong numbers. So when we check it, we're going to cross multiply. So we get 35m plus negative 4m.
I said flip.
Yes, we're going to flip them because that doesn't work. I need it to equal negative 23. So we're going to flip these. So I'll put the 5 up here and the negative 4 down there. Notice I did not switch to the 2 and 10 because I haven't fully exhausted the possibilities with the 4 and the 5 yet. Okay. So now when we check it, we get negative 28m plus 5m, and that one works. Negative 23m. Excellent. So
Wouldn't it be 6M?
where are we talking
about?
about?
Sorry. I was adding.
Okay. All right. So now that we figured out, we checked it by cross multiplying and it works. Now I have to make my factors. Don't forget about the 2. So we have 2 And then we're going to go straight across like this. So it's 7m plus 5, and then m minus 4. Those are my factors. Okay. So some books and some teachers teach you a guess and check method, which basically means you make your parentheses and then you check it. How would I check this? How would I check it?
Okay.
Multiply it back out, right?
Can't concentrate.
We're gonna foil it. Remember, factoring is the opposite of foiling. So to check it, I'm going to foil. So I'm going to do 7m times m. Well, that's what we did when we did this part, right? That's the 7m squared. And then we're going to do 7m times negative 4. Well, that's what we did when we cross multiplied, negative 28m. And then we do 5 times m. That was the other cross multiplying. There's the 5m. And then the last part of FOIL would do the 5 times negative 4, and that's this part right here. Okay, so the Murray method is actually foiling. It's just laying it out differently for you. Okay, and it's quicker than doing the guess and check like this. Okay, let's do another one. And remember, the more you do, the quicker it's going to come. For some of you, you're already seeing them fast. Okay, so let's do 2n squared minus n minus 15. Okay, because this is a 2, I have to use the Murray method now. Okay, is there a greatest common factor? 1, so we don't have to worry about it, right? If it's a 1. Okay, so then what? Factors of 2n squared, we get 2n times n. We're only factoring the first term and the last term. So now we're going to do the 15. 1 and 15 or 3 and 5. Okay. So let's do 3 and 5. One of them has to be negative. And we're going to check it. Is that going to work?
Switch it.
Switch it, yeah. We're going to switch it because that doesn't work. I'm going to get negative 10 plus 3. So we're going to switch it. Negative 5 and 3 like that. What do we get? 6n minus 5n. So it's real close. So I got to make it a positive 5 and a negative 3. Okay. Now it's going to work. I get negative 6n, positive 5n. Now it worked.
So one of them always has to be a negative.
Only because this is negative. If that's positive, they both have to be the same sign. Okay. Okay, so what are my factors?
2n plus 5. And minus 2.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Okay, questions? All right, you're gonna do a group project, or I should say a pairs project. Okay, I have a worksheet that I want you to work on. Let's find it here. Okay. So what we've done so far in our factoring, okay, we've done things where we just factor out a greatest common factor. We've worked with quadratics where the a is equal to 1, right? Remember our quadratic looks like this, right? So the a is equal to 1, and that's the ones where we just say two things that multiply to equal this number, but add up to this number. And then we just did the a is prime, We did that actually last week, but we just reviewed it, okay? So now we're going to look at what we do when A is not prime. What's that called when it's not prime? What's the word we use? Composite. So give me a number that's not prime. 2 is prime.
2 is prime. 4.
4. 4 is not prime. 6 is not prime. Because when I factor 4, I can use 1 and 4 or 2 and 2. Right? So there's more than one factor than just the 1 and 4. So it's not prime. So I'm going to break you up into pairs, and I've got 3 problems for you. I want you to discuss it and figure out how to do these. This is a discovery project. You're going to figure out how to do it, okay? So you're going to match up based on your numbers. Okay. We're going to leave off. Oh, you want that margin?
Whatever you got. Are you at 1?
7. Okay, raise your hand if you're number 1. You're number 1. Raise your hand if you're number 1. Okay, you guys are going to pair up. Okay. Number 2. Okay, you guys are going to pair up. 3s. Who's 3? Okay. 4. All right, you're back there with Dominic. Dominic. 5. Who's number 5? Okay, who else is a 5? Alston, who else? TJ, what number are you?
I'm not.
You're 6. All right, 6 and 7. All right, everybody's got their number?
This is what we just learned, right?
This is an extension of what we just learned.
That's the same way, right?
It's yes, but harder.